Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. For those of you just joining me, my name is Alfred, and this is Capital City Aquatics. And today's video, it actually marks the 1-year anniversary that I've been doing this channel, so I wanted to take a second to quickly thank my subscribers. And today, there's a lot going on in the fish gallery. I'm going to be doing some upgrades and possibly shifting some tanks around, as well as some fish, most likely. So I'll take you through what the plans are for today and show you what I have in store. All right, so first things first. First thing I have on the agenda for today is I have 2 sheets of plywood that are cut perfectly to go on my aquarium rack. So I'm going to be getting those painted. They will match the other 2 sheets I have. They'll be painted a black, and then I'll put the foam pad on top of them. Okay, so these shelves will have heavier aquariums on them. I'm looking to put 30-gallon tanks, possibly even 40-gallon tank on them. So I'll be putting a thicker foam pad on them. And this is my second one right here. So I'm going to have one that goes on the bottom, and then the other one will go up here on the top shelf. I'll get those 2 painted up and installed, and then I'll be putting a thicker pad on the shelf on the bottom once it's painted. So I have been busy the last couple of days in the aquarium room. I've added lighting to my rack. I'll just show you quickly what that looks like. All right, so this is what it looks like right now with the lighting on it. It's just shop lights that I found with some help from a good friend of mine on Amazon, and I went and picked them up. You can see them there. I'm just holding them in place for now with the zip ties. They're very light and they give off a decent amount of light. So I'll be using those on each one of my racks, and I'll be growing plants in them. So this will be a work in progress, and we'll see what kind of growth I get out of my plants. I don't do anything overly complicated or demanding as far as plants go, so I don't see a problem with that. And I do have to just clean up the zip ties that I'm holding them in place with. I just put them in yesterday, so I'll be cutting those and cleaning those up a little bit. Next thing I plan on doing, hopefully today, is adding water to my 55-gallon. Again, I'm going to take this very slow since I have done repairs to it. Obviously, you want to make sure that there's no leaks, but this will get filled up today, and potentially do some aquascaping in there as well. And then I'll see about switching over one of the cycled filters into this tank, and quite possibly I'll be moving my blue Moscow guppies into this tank to give them a lot more room, and then they'll be joined probably by some Corridoras. I do have the sand substrate in here for them, so I'll be looking to get some Corridoras and quarantining them, and then they'll be joining my blue Moscow guppies in this tank. Then I do plan, after everything is done and painted, I'll be moving this tank here down to my bottom shelf, and I'll be putting my second 20-gallon tank in here, and I'll be using that going forward for any breeding project that I'm working on with my blue Moscows. I found that they did okay in the 10, but I just like to give them a little bit more room, and I have the tanks available, so I'll be putting them in a 20-gallon tank and putting them on this shelf, And then I'll probably use this tank for my bristlenose plecos. I have some in my other tank that I'll be moving over here and getting this set up as a species only tank for my common bristlenose plecos, and I'll be starting to breed those as well. So that's another project that I'll be working on, but there's a lot on the go here, and the sooner we can get things started, the sooner we can get them done and get more things checked off the list. Alright, so this is my red cherry shrimp tank. I was using it as my breeding tank for my blue Moscow, so there are some fry in there. I've also moved some fry in with my females in the 50 gallon I have upstairs. But this is just going to be now used for my cherry red shrimp. And once the fry in this tank grow up a little bit, I'll be pulling them out of this tank and putting them in with the adults. But I'll just let them grow up in here. There's no risk of them at this point attacking the red cherry shrimp, eating the babies or anything like that. So I'm just going to let them grow up in here for another month or so, and then I'll be moving them in with the adults into the larger tanks. And then this right now is the 20 gallon that I have my blue Moscow guppies in, and I will be relocating these fish to the 55 gallon, give them a lot more space, and hopefully cut down a little bit on the aggression. And then this tank will be repurposed as my 20 breeder. I'll be adding more plants to this tank, some Java moss and maybe a few more ferns, and I'll be using this to work on increasing my numbers for my blue Moscows and breeding those, and then it'll be a grow out tank for the babies once they're born. But yeah, just upgrading my breeding tank from the 10 gallon I did have to this 20 once I move my males into the larger tank. All right, and I did recently purchase a new glass canopy for one of my tanks. I bought it secondhand and it didn't come with a canopy, so I went online, H2 Pro glass canopy. I picked that up. So far it seems like a very sturdy build. It was shipped to me, there was no damage to it, and that's the lid that I have on this tank here. There we go, so you can see I have the new glass lid here. Now this tank, there isn't much room on this shelf, so when the time comes, I'll actually be moving it down to my bottom shelf where I have quite a bit more room. And it's possible I'll be putting my 40 breeder on this shelf as well temporarily until I can get my stand built. All right, so here we go, folks. 55 gallon has water in it, and it's got some hardscape in there. The plants, just a few, because those will fill in over time, and I might choose to add a little more later, but my goal is to have quarries in there, so I have to be selective about what plants I put in there. I'll have my light on top of this shortly. I just have to do some other arrangements to free up the light, because right now I have it on another tank. Alright, I have my two shelves painted, and I have the foam pad on the bottom one. I have my tank here. It's not set up yet. I'll be putting another tank here probably later today. That'll have my endlers in it. Then my 20 gallon, when it's ready, will go right here next to my other 20. This should have my plecos in it hopefully before the end of the week. And then in here I took some of the plants out of the tank with my double sword guppies. And this is just my holding tank for some of my plants. I'll be putting those in some of my other tanks and keeping some there. My goal is to have some green jade shrimp in there before the end of the summer. I'm just trying to secure someone who has them, and then they'll be put in this 10-gallon. All right, folks, so that's it for the work I have cut out for me over the next couple of days. A number of different projects I'm looking at completing, and then start the whole process of shifting around some of my aquariums and my livestock, and getting everything set up in its final position. So I want to thank everyone who's been with me. It's been a bit of a roller coaster of a year. A lot of changes in the fish room, and I'm getting closer, like I said, to my 200 subscribers. So I certainly hope for some of the viewers that haven't subscribed yet that you would do so. I certainly look forward to the support from you. If you like these type of videos and want to see more of them, hit the like button and hit the notification button so you can keep tabs on how my fish room development is going and what new stock I bring in, new fish. I definitely have a much larger tank that I have now. I haven't shown it to you yet because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be doing with it or how I'm going to be stocking it. Again, I bought the tank secondhand, so it does need to be cleaned up. But that's going to be a project that'll hopefully take place over the next 2 months. Something to look forward to. Thank everyone for joining me today, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye now.